Hey, welcome to this segment of Saints Bright Future Q&A. This time what we're going to be talking about is why the confusion about the 6 and 7 seal. Well, uh, there's three questions I want to kind of really focus in on. One is, are we in the 6th seal or 7th seal, or do they overlap? The other question we want to take a look at is Revelation chapter 6, verses 12 through 17 referencing a future event or one or more past events? And then the last one is since a seal represents 1,000 years, can we find a year where one seal ends and another seal begins? Good questions, right? And we got the answers, guys. We got this. We got this. I know there's been a lot of confusion about it and everything. There's been a lot of debates and everything, but we're going to try and just put that to bed and get the answers and move on, because what I really want to be focusing in on is helping people, billions of people around the world, understand that Daniel chapter 11, 8, and 7, these are the foundational chapters for organizing the prophetic events of our day. And yeah, this would be a fantastic thing for you to do if you haven't done it. All you got to do is go over to Bible Science Happening and just click on Discoveries. And then we got these clips right over here. Revelation chapter 17, 18, Daniel chapter 11, 8, and 7. These 5 clips are foundational clips. These are really, really important. And they're the insights that I want to get out to billions of people around the world, because billions of people around the world already believe in the Bible, and there's billion others that can become interested in that. So we need to talk this up. But right now, we're having a discussion about the seals. Are we in the 6th seal? Are we in the 7th seal? Well, if you go down here to the bottom of the page, and if you click on LDS references, and then scroll down again, and then click on LDS references Q&A, scroll down one more time, and then click on LDS references Q&A list, and then scroll down on this page here, and then you'll see where you can get to the page about why the confusion about the 6th and 7th seals right over here. And I got some great information over here to help you on that. And right now, what I want to do is I just want to get to some of the answers real quick. Some of you are just going to grab onto these answers and go, yep, that's it, that's right, let's move on. And that's what I want this to be able to get to. So what I want to do is I want to first read Revelation chapter 12 with you. So let's go over here. First read Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. Revelation chapter 6, verse 12, it says, "And I beheld when he had opened up the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Well, why? What happened there? We get the answer in verse 13. It says, "And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind." So we have these asteroids or meteorites or something that are pounding the earth by the hundreds, just like all the figs on a fig tree. Boy, there's hundreds of figs on a fig tree there. And so then let's see how severe it is. Look at verse 14. "And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." This is huge. So is this an event that happened anciently, or is it something in the future? Well, keep on reading. "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" Well, is it in the future? We obviously can see that It sounds like it's in the future, doesn't it? Doesn't sound like anything that has happened anciently. There's things that we could see that, well, like there was a major earthquake a long time ago, 1202 AD, and the stars fell like meteorite, 150,000 of them in one night, back on, I think, November 12th, 1833. 1833, remember that, that's important. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we can learn from Joseph Smith on this. This is a picture out of the DVD that I had over in Deseret Bookstore back in 2011, and now I have it online over at YouTube. But I had this over in some of the Deseret bookstores back in 2011. Let's go ahead and read what it says here. Joseph Smith says in the History of the Church, this is volume 2, page 52, take away the Book of Mormon and the Revelations, and where is our religion? We have none. For without Zion and a place of deliverance, we must fall, because the time is near, when the sun will be darkened, and the moon turned to blood, and the stars fall from heaven, and the earth reel to and fro. Then, if this is the case, and if we are not sanctified and gathered to the places God has appointed, with all our former professions and our great love for the Bible, we must fall. We cannot stand. We cannot be saved. For God shall gather out his saints from the Gentiles, and then comes desolation and destruction. And none can escape except the pure in heart who are gathered. So what is that saying about all our brothers and sisters, the 7+ billions of them? How important is it for them to understand the prophetic events, what's coming up? Guys, this is so important. And that's why it's so important to be able to get the answer to, are we in the 6th seal? Are we in the 7th seal? Is this an event that happened a long time ago, or is it an event that's going to be happening in the future? Yeah, we got to be able to get this word out. That quote came in 1834. Let me see if I can get the exact date here. The exact date is April 21st, 1834. So when did all the stars fall and everything else like that? That happened, scroll down, that happened November 12th, 1833. But that quote from Joseph Smith was 1834. So it can't be the starry night. So it's that simple, guys. Using that information right there, we can see that we are absolutely in the 6th seal. But there's more information that I want to be able to share with you. And rather than just take the time here, I want you just to be able to go back over to the Bible Science Happening over here. And I'll put the link to it. But these two clips right here, God in Our Future Part 2, Building Zion, there's a 24-minute clip part of that one. And then this one here is God in Our Future Part 3, Before the Great Day. And these both are covering the Doctrine and Covenants, section 88. And they're talking about how section 88 and Revelation chapter 6 and 7 and 8 and more, they all tie in together. These are really, really great insights. So that's going to help you out tremendously to see how things are synchronized and the general order that they play out. Also, back over on the side over here, you have these two articles. These two articles, they were printed in the Ensign, and it was done by John Pratt. And so he has reprinted these on his website, reconnected them there. But these here help us to understand why he makes the case that Christ was resurrected April 3rd, 33 AD. And that insight is really helpful for us to understand that the resurrection, the atonement and resurrection of Christ are the most significant days in the history of the earth. And it's my belief that when Christ went to the Garden of Gethsemane, it was like 2 days before the end of the fourth seal. And then he gave up the ghost on the cross. And then the last day of the fourth seal, his body rested in the tomb. And the first day of the fifth seal, that was April 3rd, 33 AD, he was resurrected. Now over here, I have the quote from 3 Nephi chapter 3 verse 9, and it says, this is Christ speaking. He says, verily I say unto you, I commanded my servant Samuel the Lamanite that he should testify unto this people, that at the day that the Father should glorify his name, Heavenly Father's name, in me, that there were many saints who should arise from the dead, and should appear unto many, and should minister unto them. And he said unto them, was it not so? So I absolutely believe that April 3rd, 33 AD was the opening, the first day of the fifth seal, which means that Easter 2033, that is April 17th, will be the first day of the seventh seal. It's that simple, guys. It really is. But there's a lot of information on that page there that you can dive in, and you can get even more confirmation about these things as well. But if you go through the five videos right here, the 5 clips here, and then if you go down and if you go through these 2 clips here on section 88, I think that it will that will greatly help you to understand the general order the prophetic events play out regarding Daniel chapter 11, 8, and 7, and the chapters, many chapters out of the book of Revelation, and then also tie in section 88. And I think that we'll then be more unified to help the world to understand where we are in the prophetic events, and help the world to understand that that John and Daniel saw a succession of 8 kings leading up to the return of Christ in power and glory. If this is new to you, get over to watch those clips. This is absolutely so important, because right now we're at the very tail end of the 4th king. That's Ayatollah Khomeini. And if you go over to if you go back over here to Bible Science Happening and just go to the home page, you scroll down a little bit, and you're going to read about all the things that we're going to see prophetically happen between now and about 2024, which are just huge. But then in addition to it, I talk about the things that we can anticipate to happen between now and 2024, which there's a lot of things over here. And it's not all gloom and doom. There's some wonderful things to expect over here, a lot of them. And so get on over there to Bible Science Happening. Check out all this information. But hopefully that when you review all this information there, that you will too agree that we're absolutely in the 6th seal right now. We have the 7th seal coming up in 2033. And so guys, God bless you. Let's go ahead and rock the world with this great insight, so that we can have so many more people accept the information, accept Christ, and be gathered out like we want to be. Don't we want to help our brothers and sisters to be gathered out? We've got to be able to have that communication, that conversation with them. And now finding the succession of the 8 kings and how to organize the prophetic events of our day, we have something very, very dynamic to have a conversation with. So let's do it. God bless.